Coming up in the news, 185 million secured for Project Polaris. This includes the construction of a new hospital in Calavini, St. George. And a $22 million contract has been signed that will see the resumption of construction on the Constantine Willis Road. Details to these stories and more, plus a look at news in the region when we return.
Do you live or own a business in Calavini, Marianne, Hopevale, Westerhall, or surrounding communities? The government of Grenada invites you to a town hall meeting this Wednesday focused on Grenada's healthcare transformation and Project Polaris. Hear directly from the project team, ask questions, and gain a better understanding of the new hospital development in your community. The town hall meeting is on Wednesday, March 18th, 6 p.m. at the Westerhall Secondary School. The Honorable Prime Minister and members of Cabinet will be attending. You are an integral part of this conversation. Join the Government of Grenada, 6 p.m. Wednesday, March 18th at the Westerhall Secondary School. Come out and learn more about this exciting project happening in your community.
Welcome back. With the details to the GIS news for today, Monday, March 23rd, 2026, I am Abigail McIntyre. The government of Grenada has secured $185 million towards the building of a new hospital in Calavini, St. George. Termed Project Polaris, it will be constructed at an estimated cost of $250 million and is seen as a major step in Grenada's healthcare transformation. Speaking at a recent town hall meeting in St. David, project sponsor Ambassador Andrea St. Bernard announced that a groundbreaking ceremony will be held this Friday at the project site, kicking off the first phase of the construction.
And so immediately after groundbreaking, we would move into some more geotechnical, geophysical testing that needs to be done. We would continue the site clearance. We would continue with site security. We would also need to, this is a large project, and so we would also need to build a camp for the construction. And so the provisioning of the site to have it ready to start main works will be happening over the next 5 to 6 months.
The transformation of healthcare in Grenada is one of the key pillars of Vision 75, and Prime Minister Honorable Dickon Mitchell believes this will position the island to become the medical capital of the OECS. He reiterated that government remains committed to ensuring that true transformation goes beyond infrastructural upgrades.
We entered with Mount Sinai a quality improvement arrangement to begin to improve the process, procedure, and ultimately the quality of care that is rendered to persons at the hospital. So we did not wait, and we are not waiting until a new hospital is built to begin to change the culture. And that is ongoing, and I'm sure you've seen testimonies. I believe I recognize one of the nurses there who's been in one of the ads speaking about her experience with the training and so on that is taking place. And so we expect that there will be better outcomes. I've visited the hospital myself. I've seen the nurses, I've seen the interaction, and I certainly see the level of professionalism improving. It doesn't mean that there will not be issues. It doesn't mean that sometimes people may not fall short. But I think certainly that there is a renewed commitment from our healthcare professionals to deliver top-class quality care to our citizens, regardless of the challenges and the circumstances that they may encounter.
The 84-acre site will become a medical city with 250 beds, a research hospital campus, residential gardens, commercial plaza, and theater.
This is the hospital here, and as you cross over the bridge, we're entering now into the research hospital campus. And this is where we have medical office buildings. We have an area suitable for teaching, a teaching hub. We have an annex that can also offer a very appropriate space for businesses to also offer other medical services and other related service opportunities. And so this is where we are building, in fact, a very exciting investment opportunity for private persons to get involved in what's available happening within the medical city.
Residents shared their concerns and some advice as they welcomed the development.
I think the river splits St. George's and St. David's. I think that's fantastic. I only have one concern, and I know you can solve it because you have enough land. I think other people have mentioned, I think the parking. I think if you have 250 beds and you have 300 spaces, there's a problem there. Maybe you misspoke, because if you have 250 people in a bed, which you hope to have full, you have 2 guests coming to visit them. How many nurses to each bed? How many doctors to each bed? I just could see, over 1,000 spaces easily before you get to the commercial zone. So that's my only concern, but it looks fantastic.
Are we putting up a place so that herbs could be sold, like an entrepreneur, have herbs and things selling in that place as preventative medicine rather than the pharmaceutical world alone?
We are not asking the government for free dialysis services. If you do, it will bring this country to its knees. It is not possible. But it needs to be affordable, and it is doable. So I am willing to offer my assistance in whatever capacity to continue the discussions of the MOU that's being looked at and what we can do to make this better.
A $22 million contract has been signed between the government of Grenada and the Reno Construction to resume works on the Constantine Willis Road, including the completion of 2 bridges. Member of Parliament for the area, Ron Redhead, explained that 3 companies were initially part of the arrangement. However, the contract was ultimately awarded to Reno Construction following the passing of Mr. Budlal and the financial constraints faced by another party. More in this report by Sherry and Noel.
The government of Grenada has taken an important step forward in a long-awaited restoration of the Constantine Willis Road. A new $22 million contract has been signed with Reno Construction Company under the Ministry of Infrastructure Development's new policy, Finance, Design, Build model, marking a fresh push to resume and complete this vital project, including the finishing of 2 key bridges. Honorable Ron Redhead, the Member of Parliament representing the area, shared some insight during a recent interview with the Government Information Service. He explained that the original plan involved 3 companies working together. Unfortunately, following the passing of Mr. Budlal and financial challenges faced by one of the partners, Reno Construction was awarded the contract independently.
We had to review. There was only one contractor at the time that could have taken it at that price tag, and it was Reno. The challenge is always to ensure that the contractor taking the job, they have the equipment, they have the capacity as well to be able to do some of the work themselves. And the government's new policy, which is to finance, build type model of reconstruction of roads, is something that we are satisfied that Reno does have the capacity and ability to take care of. So I want to commend the Ministry of Infrastructure. I think they spent enough times. I want to commend the recent outgoing CTO, Mr. Kevin Blanche, for the dedication towards this review and revision of the project itself. Well, the scope of work certainly is something we're looking to be around 6 to 8 months to complete. Essentially, it's to repair along the main residential area of Willis, all the gaps, the drains, etc., pave the road, widen the path right here at this initial bridge, and then target outside Constantine Road in particular. I think this project redesign, so to speak, is going to be a bit better than what originally was conceptualized with the original project and its scope. And it's also repair a number of different areas, including this bridge here, which is adjacent to the school. So the intention is that once we stick to the plan and the contractor is ready to start and commences, most importantly, everything should take almost be like clockwork to take the 6 to 8 months to complete.
Honorable Redhead also shared that in principle, there have already been discussions between the contractor, his office, and the Royal Grenada Police Force to build a solid working understanding that will make it easier to manage traffic flow during the ongoing construction works.
There are 3 main areas of this project where properties ought to be acquired to be able to get the desired results, and it involves the widening. So you have Mr. Andrew and the Methodist Church on the outside, the Constantine and Vendome Junction. You have Mr. Superville, where we are standing here right now, and you also have to just higher up from Mr. Superville, one of the other residents, where we would have to cut into the property to be able to widen the road along the hill going up. So essentially, it is something that we believe once commenced, it will take the 6 to 8 months, weather permitting, among other aspects and elements, to be able to complete. But we are very much satisfied. We want to engage residents as ASAP. We were here earlier on this week checking in with the gaps and so on that is outstanding, so that we could start the work along there, and that Renault, the new contractor, could be able to pave to get the work done. The essential part of it is to be able to ensure that we fix people's gaps.
The Renault construction team, he says, will not be demolishing the existing structures already in place for the 2 bridges. However, with the redesigned drawings, some further alignment of the road will have to be done.
Renault is the one looking at it. So far, it is clear that we will have to continue. So the original acquisition and compensation for Mr. Superville, and I want to place on record Mr. Superville's patience with this whole process, which we inherited to now, is something that we want to thank him for, and we are confident that this time around we will actually know when and how much he would be compensated for the property. The surveys were conducted earlier on this week as well, and so the intention is to keep the existing bridge base, and we may have to engage the school and the church property adjacent to be able to talk about the potential redesign. However, we'll have to keep the existing one.
According to the St. George Northeast MP, the resumption of construction works on the Constantine Willis Road will create employment for skilled workers in the neighborhood and surrounding villages. Honorable Redhead encourages interested individuals to make inquiries at the Renault Construction Company office in Boucher-Joux. Sherry-Ann Noel for the GIS News.
Thank you, Sherry-Ann. As part of a national effort to promote resilient agriculture and sustainable land management, the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry is receiving support from the OECS Integrated Landscape Management, also known as ILM project, at the Granbra Estate in St. Andrew. The project has invested approximately $2 million to build a modern administrative and training center at the estate and to upgrade key access roads. Minister for Agriculture, Lands and Forestry, the Honorable Lennox Andrews, toured the site of the new facility last week and was high with expectations for the project, which would make the Granbra Estate a center of agricultural excellence.
The majority of our estates do not have washroom facilities, for example. They do not have an administrative building. So what we do in Granbra Estate, as we are doing in Montreal, and we want to do with other estates, is to provide adequate administrative building, not just for the administration of the estate, but also to include things like storage facilities, meeting rooms. And those buildings have to become a smart building. So we're going to have rainwater harvesting. We're going to have solar energy being generated from this building. So it's going to be our modern agricultural practices that will be displayed here on this estate. Presently, we have around 30 workers here. As you can see, they're all busy at work. And our intention is to make Granbra, as well as Maribor, centers of agricultural excellence in Grenada, so that when people come from abroad, we can take them to visit these estates so they could see, the extent of our agricultural development here in Grenada.
The project is expected to be complete by June 2026, explains Kelvon Burke, lead contractor at Infinite Construction Limited.
At present, the state of the project, we are on the ground floor of the building. The project was started in December. We started with the construction of the road. And so far, everything else. Presently, we're hoping to achieve this project at the end of June. It's a pretty tight schedule, so Minister, we are trying to implement everything that we could in the books to see if we could get substantial completion at that date. So far, we're grateful that the weather is in our favor, so we're pushing as much as we could.
Agronomist in charge of the government estate, Karim Forsyth, noted that the improved working conditions at the estate are expected to significantly increase production, storage capacity, and access to locally grown foods.
This administrative building that is carried on working on Granborough Estate is key to the overall development of the estate. Of course, there are certain amenities that are needed here to just bring us to a certain level. And from there, we can keep increasing our productivity and the efficiency of the workers. I think having this building here is somewhat of a standard, and it provides opportunity not only for the workers to be in a more comfortable area, areas they feel more safe, but also we can use this building to, carry out training and development sessions for the said workers and for external persons as well. Of course, the road network development is key also in terms of increasing productivity, not only for us, but also for the farms and stuff that are within the vicinity of the estate. So, and road network improvement is key to any development of a farm. And so I think that the project is progressing well. The guys are working steadfastly and pretty quickly. And we expect to see this having a significant impact on the overall performance of Granborough Estate.
The Granborough Estate produces hundreds of pounds of tubers, ground provisions, citrus, and vegetables that are sold through its estate market, donated to schools, and the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council. In 2025, the estate produced approximately 36,861 pounds of local produce and currently employs 27 workers. As part of its ongoing efforts to decentralize services, the government of Grenada has officially opened a new sub-office for the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs in Petit-Esperance, St. David. The sub-office will provide a range of services, including case management, social assessments, family support, counseling, crisis intervention, court and family mediation, juvenile interventions, and community outreach. Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Senator the Honorable Gloria Thomas, says this is the part of the ministry's ongoing commitment to improving accessibility and enhancing the quality of service delivery in the parish.
For too long, we recognize that we have a lot of barriers in the service we provide because of the location, and we are working on that. And in soon time, I believe we will be able to settle in a place where we will be accessible to all who need us for services that we provide through the Ministry of Social and Community Development and Gender Affairs. This location is much more than just a change of address. It is a statement of principle. It is a statement that says that we always want to upgrade, we always want to make our staff comfortable, and we are committed to ensuring that that environment is provided where they can give of the best.
Social worker Kishelle Felix added that the new office will strengthen support for vulnerable groups, including the elderly and persons with disabilities.
Today is especially significant and meaningful to us as staff, because for many years we have been provided these vital services in one office space, often limiting the level of privacy, comfort, and efficiency that both staff and clients deserve. With this new location, we are now better positioned to accommodate our dedicated team members of social workers, counselors, probation officer, and administrative staff in an environment that promotes confidentiality, professionalism, client well-being, and the respect and dignity of worth of every person who enters through these doors.
Prime Minister and Parliamentary Representative for St. David, the Honourable Dickon Mitchell, reaffirmed his government's dedication to providing safe, secure spaces for both staff and the communities they serve.
As a government, it's important, I think, first to the public, second to our staff, to ensure within our limited means, because our means are not infinite, that we do everything we can to always constantly improve the physical environment in which our staff operates and in which they are expected to serve the public and in which the public is expected to engage with them. And given that there is perhaps no other ministry, you could provide infrastructure and not engage with people. You could build the roads and not have to speak to people or engage them or talk to them. You could build the schools and only after the schools you engage with the teachers and the students. You could build a health center and after the nurses and the doctors engage with them. But your services are not about buildings. Your services are about the pictures that are behind me, the people, the family. And it's important, therefore, for us to ensure that we lead by example in terms of how we treat our family, how we treat the staff, how we treat the persons who interact with us. And so I really want to, I think on behalf of the resident citizens, if I may put it this way, of St. David, thank Minister, thank PS, and everyone who's made this possible.
We'll take a short break. Stay with us.
On Friday, March 27th, the Grenada National Cricket Stadium will be the battleground as the division of culture within the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Economy and Culture presents the Peter Phillip Drumcore competition. And this one promises to be the biggest one yet. Drumcore from across the island is ready to show off their amazing talents, the excitement, the anticipation. The Boca Secondary School is back and ready to defend. Look on for other participating schools: GBSS, GSS, St. Joseph Convent Granville, St. Mark's Secondary School, Happy Secondary School, Wesley College, Carriacou, St. David's Catholic Secondary School, and J.W. Fletcher. Who will it be in 2026? Start time 1 p.m. So get there early. Admission children, you pay 5. Adults, you pay 10. So come rep your team, rep your school inside the Grenada National Cricket Stadium for the Peter Phillip Drumcore competition. Friday, March 27th. Be there. Give them performance.
Welcome back. The National Water and Sewerage Authority, NAWASA, has commenced a major pipeline upgrade project along the Mount Kumar to Snug Corner corridor aimed at improving the reliability and resilience of the island's water supply system. The work forms part of ongoing efforts to modernize Grenada's water infrastructure and address long-standing distribution challenges. It is being carried out under the GIS project, which focuses on strengthening climate resilience within the water sector. The initial phase spans from Mount Kumar Junction to Snug Corner, with a second phase expected to extend to Lamode. Key components include the installation and upgrading of transmission pipelines to enhance efficiency and reduce service disruptions. Parliamentary Representative for St. George Northeast, the Honourable Ron Redhead, has welcomed the initiative, noting that it bodes well for the continued development of communities within the constituency. He also commended NAWASA for the progress made so far and encouraged residents in affected areas to cooperate with work crews as the project advances.
What we have done so far was to collaborate with them in principle, meaning that they are implementing the project. We are facilitating the RGPF to work on bypass roads critical to this project, so that when they start to lay the substantive areas of Bolio, so right now they're at Snug Corner, Mount Kumar Junction, once they start to lay the other areas, at least there is a main bypass through Lamode, which takes you back up to Tempe. So we have expectation that that project should be starting very, very soon. And it's a road called Chantilly Connection, which takes you back to Tempe Hills of Ice. We are satisfied that NAWASA is doing a little better now than the original experience down in the south. However, there's always room for improvement, and wherever we, from the constituency level and through the Ministry of Works, believe that we can partner to ensure that the community, everyone is engaged and involved and is appreciative of the work that is ongoing, we certainly would like to call for that and would like to encourage it throughout the completion of that specific project. But it's going well, it's managed by NAWASA, and we wish them all the very best. Hopefully the weather holds up very nicely so that they can continue as they are going.
And finally, in the local segment, Grenada joined the global observance of World Oral Health Day on Friday, March 20th, with a shift in focus from patients to the people delivering care. This year, the Dental Health Division of the Ministry of Health hosted a special retreat for its staff, creating a space for team members to regroup, refocus, and rejuvenate. Observed annually, World Oral Health Day highlights the importance of oral health to overall well-being and raises awareness about common conditions such as tooth decay, gum disease, and oral cancers. It also promotes healthy habits like regular brushing, flossing, reduced sugar intake, and routine dental visits. While activities typically target the public, the dental department used this year's observance to recognize and support its workforce. Dental surgeon Dr. Felicia Bain underscored the importance of caring for healthcare providers, noting that their well-being directly impacts the quality of service delivered.
This retreat that we're having today, which is to help empower us and help renew and revitalize the members of staff in the dental department, to help us manage the stress, the patients, the things that we encounter daily during our practice and treating the general public, just to help us to ensure that we ourselves, as well as helping you with healthy mouths, also have a healthy life, healthy mental state, and overall healthy life.
Former Health Minister Ann Peters also praised the initiative, describing it as a commendable approach to valuing those who serve.
Because I think oftentimes we talk about delivery of service and we tend to forget the practitioners who are actually delivering the service. And this exercise is a demonstration of the importance of bringing a team together. Okay, we talk teamwork all the time, but a lot of times people on the team don't know each other. So I want to commend Dr. Hamlet. She's brought her team together. It's a good time for them to interact, get to know each other, get strengths, weaknesses, try to understand other dimensions of things maybe they were not talking about at all. So this is, for me, a commendable exercise.
Chief Dental Surgeon Dr. Festina Hamlet revealed that the retreat will culminate with an awards ceremony recognizing outstanding staff contributions. She emphasized that supporting the team is just as important as caring for patients.
As head of the dental department, I want to say that all staff members are doing well, but sometimes some go the extra mile to make things happen and to service the people. And in that way, I want to take recognition, giving them some awards. As World Oral Health Day by the World Dental Federation, the theme for this today is a happy mouth, a happy life. We want to be happy as dental professionals so we can make our patients happy, hence the reason for this retreat, and hence the reason why we know for sure that we need the care just the same as the patient.
The initiative was supported by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Mental Health and Wellness, Naomi Jeremiah, and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Rhonda Jones, both of whom commended the dental department for prioritizing staff welfare while continuing to deliver essential services.
You have been working 365 days for the year for your department, and you have been making things happen. You've been serving the adults, you've been serving children, you've been serving the whole community. And here you are today with a wonderful team about renewing and energized and being committed to what you do. I know you have been faced with many challenges because I myself was the PS for community and hospital services, and I know you you have many challenges. You have been through, you have set the tone, you have worked with your equipment, though there may be few, little equipment, little resources, but you take what you have and you serve your community. And today, we want to join with Hill to tell you thanks for what you've been doing.
We do not have the luxury of having a lot of time all to ourselves very often. And today, thank you, Dr. Hamlet, for providing the opportunity so that your team can have the space to restore and to rejuvenate for a bit.
And that story brings us to the wrap for the local segment. We'll have a look at what's happening in the region when we come back.
My name is Liselle Walcott. I'm a staff nurse at the General Hospital for the past 16 years. At the Infection Control Department, we do surveillance for communicable diseases or hospital-acquired infections. We do outbreak investigations. So any issues we have, we would investigate it, find out the cause, and we would do recommendations and interventions to all relevant departments. Thus far, with Mount Sinai, we are looking at ways of improving hand hygiene. Hand hygiene has been proven to be one of the most important practice you could do to break the chain of infection. Working along with Mount Sinai, I foresee that it would be a very good thing for us. They are looking into the products that we use, the practices that we do. Going forward, we'll be able to achieve a very high level of compliance and safety across the board for everyone.
Government in a landmark move for regional integration and South-South cooperation. The Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the OECS, has supported the first large-scale commercial charter flight from the Caribbean directly to Africa. The flight, organized by Aquarian Consult Limited, departed St. Kitts on March 21st, 2026. The charter left the Robert L. Bradshaw International Airport carrying more than 100 passengers, including business leaders, government officials, and cultural representatives from 8 Caribbean nations. It arrived the following day at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, Nigeria. The direct route marks a significant step in strengthening economic and cultural ties between the Caribbean and Africa, eliminating the need for traditional layovers in Europe or North America. The flight also signals the start of the Afro-Caribbean Investment Summit, scheduled for March 23rd to 28th in Abuja. Also from the region, scores of media practitioners from across the Caribbean participated in a regional workshop aimed at strengthening climate reporting capacity. The session, titled Reporting Climate Impacts in a Climate Justice Context, was hosted on March 18 in Port of Spain, Trinidad, by the Media Institute of the Caribbean and Climate Analytics Caribbean. Journalists, editors, content creators, and students engaged both in person and online, focusing on improving accuracy, content, and the use of climate justice frameworks in reporting. CARICOM Climate Envoy, Dr. James Fletcher, underscored the growing severity of climate impacts in the region, revealing that St. Lucia is now importing water due to drought conditions. He warned that despite contributing less than 0.25% of global emissions, Caribbean nations remain among the most vulnerable, facing stronger hurricanes, rising sea levels, and increasing socio-economic strain. Participants were also exposed to data highlighting the financial toll of climate-related disasters, including the impact of Hurricane Ivan on Grenada and the Hurricane Irma on the British Virgin Islands. Experts emphasized the importance of climate justice, adaptation, and stronger national commitments, while urging regional media to play a critical role in shaping public understanding of the climate crisis. Well, that story took us to the end of the GIS news for today, Monday, March 23rd, 2026. To recap the top stories, $185 million secured for Project Polaris. This includes the construction of a new hospital in Calavini, St. George. and a $22 million contract has been signed that will see the resumption of construction on the Constantine Willis Road. On behalf of the entire news and production team here at the Government Information Service, I am Abigail McIntyre. Thank you for joining us.